I thought about having the robot be able to travel. So we're very close to having self-driving cars. I always had this idea, how the heck would the robot get from point A to point B? Like, could the robot actually go to McDonald's, order me a value meal, and bring it back home? Is that possible? And right now, it'd be tough. The robot would have to ride a bike or walk there, and he might get stolen. You know, that's a security risk. You got tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars piece of machinery, depending on how you value it. Time put in, whatever. You got this expensive machinery just walking around for anybody just to grab, a snatch and grab? I don't think so. But if you have the robot in your driveway at your home, get into your self-driving car, instruct the car to go to McDonald's down the street, then the robot can lock the doors and drive in basically an armored vehicle. You know, it's hard to steal something out of a moving vehicle that with locked doors. Even if somebody pointed a gun to the robot's head while at a stoplight, the robot's not going to be scared of that. He'd be better off to say, go ahead and shoot me. It's not like I'll be dead. When the car brings me back home, I can be repaired. But you're not stealing all this hardware. So the robot would be safe inside a car. And so that problem for the robot to be able to leave the house safely and go from point A to point B gets solved through self-driving vehicles, and the robot can do it legally and safely. He can travel. So I'm very excited about that. I think that having a robot that can drive to the store to get things, or drive through, or pick up a prescription at a pharmacy, that would all be cool. It'd be kind of hilarious if the robot drives up to the pharmacy window and picks up your prescription. They ask the robot for an ID and everything, and the robot looks realistic enough that they give the prescription to the robot, even though it's not a human, but they think it's a human. Like, if it's dark outside and he wears like a hood and the light's kind of shrouded, and if his motors are quiet enough, and if he speaks with a human voice and can hold out his hand and hand whatever they need, it'd be hilarious if he could, like, impersonate somebody and get their prescription. I'm not saying I'm going to build robots that steal people's prescriptions or anything, but just in general, any type of interaction between a human and a robot where the human believes the robot is another human and gets fooled, that will always be funny to me. Like, tricking people into thinking they're dealing with another person. I know there's a lot of cars that can self-drive, but usually it's like only for a short period of time. It's not fully automated. It's not necessarily legal. You have to, like, still pay attention or something. I don't know. Like, once cars can legally be on the road with no driver, like Uber's planning to do, having cars pick up people with no driver, that's when the robots can get rides from a car like that legally, because the car is legally greenlit to drive anywhere. And if the car can go anywhere, then the car can bring a robot anywhere. So I could, for example, on my cell phone app, be like, Adam, get over here, I need your help. And I'm at my girlfriend's house, or I got in a car accident, and I need the robot to help aid me in getting me out of the wrecked car, or I want the robot to defend me because the person I got in a car accident with is threatening to hurt me. So the robot Adam could get into his own vehicle and tell the car where I am, the coordinates or whatever, use GPS to find me. The car drives to my location, Adam gets out and he's like, "What's up? Are you threatening my creator? Do we have a problem here?" And Adam can just happen to be trained in martial arts and beat the crap out of whoever's threatening me. So then I'll have like a bodyguard that can literally be deployed and arrive at my location Wow. Using that same concept, though, you could have robot police. They could be deployed to the scene of a crime, and a self-driving car could bring them there, and the robot could handle the situation that the police officer would normally do without threatening a human life. The robot could do the work. It'd be just like oh, what's that movie? Chappie. Is that the name of the movie, Chappie? So I'm just really excited that self-driving cars are gonna play into my schemes very well. Because here was my issue. I don't think my robot would ever be able to get a driver's license. He could be better than a human driver, but he would not be able to get a driver's license because he's not a human. Can you imagine my robot going into the Bureau of Motor Vehicles and asking to take a driving test? He can't even give his birth certificate. He doesn't have one. So, because a robot could never legally drive, it could never legally use vehicles to get from point A to point B. But obviously I thought it'd be cool to still do it illegally because I've got to have a driving robot. That's awesome. Like, I want my robot to drive my car places. I want my robot to be able to go to a drive-thru and pick me up fast food. That's amazing. That's like a goal. But it would never happen legally, and it would be risky to do it. But with self-driving cars, it's totally doable because self-driving cars will already have gone through all the legal back and forth with the driving authorities and have approval, you know, with big companies lobbying for it, lobbying for law changes. And so I won't have to worry about getting my robot a driver's license. He'll just be a passenger in a self-driving car. So that solves that big problem. So I'm really excited about that. It just hit me. Wow. Self-driving cars will solve that problem. When I first was thinking about having the robot travel around in a car a few years ago, self-driving cars weren't really being talked about. They weren't anywhere near being ready. But these days, everybody's predicting they're going to be out very soon. And there's already some pseudo self-driving cars out there. Like Uber's predicting, what, 3 or 4 years, and they're going to have their entire fleet be done by self-driving cars instead of human drivers. So, I mean, I don't know if that's true, but a company like Uber, a multi-billion-dollar company, will definitely go a long way to having the money to persuade lawmakers to get laws passed that allow self-driving cars for their interests. And other companies like Amazon.com will probably be in on that too, since self-driving vehicles will make shipping cheaper. And so all the big online companies will be chipping in to get laws passed for self-driving cars, because there's a lot of money to be made in that. Automated semi-trucks, automated delivery vehicles, automated taxi vehicles. So it's going to happen sooner rather than later, and I can't wait for that to be available to my robot.